the only safe way to do it and to reopen our country's borders is to get ourselves vaccinated.
We need to get as many of our people vaccinated as possible.
Let me remind you, Mr. Premier, the people of this country put you in that position, and don't you make one mistake to think that we can't move you from that position. Because if you're not speaking for all of us, then you don't speak for none of us. I need to see why you are thinking that you want to stronghold and dictate to the public of this country based on your own personal analysis and assumption that you know best for us. Let me tell you something, Mr. Panton. Please understand. Take a good look around in your personal environment and ask yourself how many Caymanians want to live like you, or want to be you, or want anything that you got, before you start assuming that you're going to speak for me and my children. Because the day come that you ever arrive with a policy to mandate my children to take something that is medical, that could adversely affect them, and you have not one single ounce of experience or know-how as a medical practitioner or anything in this field, you will have a serious problem on your hand. Being the premier of this country would be the least of your problems. Get it out of your head that you're going to turn us into a communist state, because it's ridiculous. Have a reasonable, rational conversation with the people of this country. You're not our ruler. You are a elected premier of a small population of 60,000 people. Get that in your skull. You ain't the king of anything. You're a human being like the rest of us. And whereas I will never tell you what to do in your own personal capacity, I beg you and I plead with you not to tell me how to not to do mine. Not because Wayne Panton is the premier of this country that we should follow suit, understand that, You understand? He will make bad decisions, as they all will, and he's just human for being so. And this ain't nothing personal against him, but I sent him a message this morning letting him know very clearly, threatening people about closing down the cinemas, the restaurants, the bars, and all this other foolishness. So then I don't want to ever hear you mention the word bubble ever again. You don't have the right to mention that. Because if you don't believe in the bubble in which you're speaking about, then shut up. Be quiet about it. Don't try to force people down some narrative in which you have assumed is best for them. Stop that foolishness. Now, I've got a lot of respect in it, and don't make me lose it. You understand? It only come lately that I start to talk to you. You know this. The first conversation you ever had with me in your entire life was this year. Yeah, and I've been down in Newlands for 20 odd years, and you had to cross our gate every day. So don't be pulling no stunts. You understand? We put you in, we can take you out. Just to understand that. 2017 was a sobering reminder to people like you who are self-made rulers and kings. Let me just bring you back down to reality this morning. I don't know, play thing now. At the end of the day, you fail, we fail. We're talking about those who are sick and adversely, or those, we're talking about, go find some FDA. You know what you should do? You should probably make a phone call as the premier of this country, since you're so highty-tighty. You should probably make a phone call to the FDA and ask them directly, why is it you guys not fully approving these vaccines? Maybe you should ask that question, instead of running around here telling people that we the problem because we don't want to be vaccinated. I also don't eat pork. I don't eat beef. So what, you're gonna victimize me because you eat pork and you eat beef? And that I'm doing the wrong thing, and that I'm missing out on the great taste of pork and beef? Because you eat it, I must eat it. Because you take the vaccine, I must take it. Because it's good for you, it's good for me. Because those are along the lines that you're trekking on, my friend. I don't like when somebody abuses my right. You're talking about vaccinated, fully vaccinated. How that gonna help anybody when they don't prevent you from getting anything? Do we need to remind you this early in the stage that you work for us? Do you know what the word minister derived from? You want me to tell you that too? The Walkers didn't teach you that. Your big law degree up in your colleges didn't teach you that. The word minister derived from servant, my friend. Servant. You are a servant of the people. And the next time you want to speak on behalf of the people, I suggest you go to the people and you talk to them first. You want to be transparent, you want to be liberal, you want to be balanced. All of these so-called ideal policies you want to implement, well, you better make sure that the transparency you're referring to is to take direction from the people in which you make decisions that become the living evidence of the consequences. You understand what I'm saying? We got to live in your consequences. The things you do is our consequences. So you don't jump up there on your high horses telling this island that you're going to be doing all these things. You imagine using cinemas and bars and restaurants and supermarkets as a scaremongering tactic to force people to get the vaccine. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put one gate up down in Nolan so you can't get to your house. And every time you get there, you got to call us to let you in so we can have that conversation whether or not you're worthy. That's what you want us to do, because that's just as bad as communism. But anyway, time longer and rope, and you got 46. Sorry. 45 months left. Not years, 45 months, and we count them. We count them. You don't get up there trying to scaremonger people in this country. I have a 17-year-old daughter who happened to be very, very, very interested in everything that's happening here. And if she ever look at me and tell me she's taking this vaccine because of some stupidness you said, we're going to have a big issue. Because if anything happened to any of my children because of some retarded law you implement in this country, I'm going to have bigger problems than opening borders. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Get that out your head right now. People should have the liberal right to do what they want to do when it comes to pumping anything in their body. You should be one standing neutral. You should, yes, be campaigning. Listen, we have the vaccine. I encourage those who have done the necessary research on their own medical history to ensure themselves that it's good for them. I encourage you guys to come out and get vaccinated. That should be your tone. Telling people you're closing the stores, so you're gonna take what I imagine, and you're begging the opposition to agree with you. Well, good luck with that foolishness. Good luck with that. It's not their responsibility no more, yours. And not they face in the picture of that article, it's yours.